Good morning to all. A warm welcome to all students in the new session or academic year 2020. As you know, the coronavirus in 19 epidemic has not been here for the day. See you soon when the coronavirus is free. But until then we will all be fine and take care of our health. I welcome you again. Myself, Dr. Rameshwar Rathod, Assistant Professor, Department of English, LBS College, Satara. Today, the new topic in BA 3rd, special paper, English novel, paper number 10. The is first novel is discussed. The Old Man Sea, written by Ernest Hemingway. Hemingway, his novel The Old Man Sea, he's published his novel 1952. This novel he had been trying to write all his life. This story about the old fisherman and struggling against the unrelenting force of nature. Him to this novel is a Pulitzer Prize in 1953 and was also largely responsible for the Nobel Prize of Literature which was awarded to the Hemingway in 1954. The Old Man Sea, author Ernest Miller Hemingway, 1899 and 1961, language English, genre literary fiction American novelist, published in 1952, media type print hardback and paperback. This novel pages 127. The novel The novel or novella or short novel is work of narrative prose fiction longer than a short story but shorter than a novel. The Old Man and Sea tells a story of protagonist Santiago, an old Cuban fisherman who has been unlucky for 84 days in his attempt to catch a fish. He has browning his skiff to the Gulf Stream for so long without any avoid. On the 85th day, he goes for out into the sea. On the sea, he thinks is a remember the young boy Monolin who used the accompany him and with whom he used to talk better day when he was a great fisherman and of the heroes of the baseball. In the afternoon that day, he hooks again marlin. Marlin is a 18 feet long, actually 2 feet longer than the skiff which Santiago is rowing. The marlin is so strong that it was toward Santiago and his skiff for the day, night, and the next day and night is continuous to the skiff of Santiago is hosted, but he doesn't give up the either. It is a clash of both weight and strength. The Santiago, remember, had hand and wrestling doll and champion called. One the morning is third day is success is a harpooning the fish in pitching all his skin and winning the strength he is able to the last the marlin to side that boat he set out of the return to journey. On the way, however, the shark attack it anyway the marlin. He fights with the shark within his strength. The minimal means a small cliff lashed to the teeter. He reached his shore. He is the completely all that is left. The marlin is the marlin its skeleton. The Santiago is defeated, but not really his victory. He is a heroic struggle. Story the end of the Monelli crying over the Santiago hands and Santiago walking up to next day and making the plans for the future, but he is again struggle. Then Marlin that he shall he's injured him. He sleeps on the dreams and his past experience. Now the next slide. The literary element is very important in the novel. First is the setting, time and place. The place is a small fishing village in Cuban and Havana on the Gulf of Mexico. The time is the late 1940. Second is that the Hemingway project life an old man. Third, the book spent period of 5 days in about on the waters of the Gulf Mexico. And the character is very important. The five characters in the novel, that is two is main character, the Santiago the protagonist, a skillful fisherman who has deep the respect for the sea and all of nature, elderly, very poor, confident, despite periodic and stake back or the fear, determines feel it is a sin to the lose hope, proud and humble. And then second character is a friend of the Santiago, the Monolin, the boy who is the Santiago friends. Then shark, the sea, Demigio. The theme is how the old man alone but out the lucky man persist fight against the odd and circumstance. Next slide. Symbolism of the Santiago is very important points in this novel is the Santiago is every man and Santiago is Jesus Christ like the figures. The comparison between Jesus Christ and Santiago, he is a fisherman and disciples were the fisherman. 84 days without fish at Tulu and 40 days without food at Tulu. He had compassion, courage, and love. He had compassion, courage, and love. The result is very important to the God and man. Result as a result of this novella is the Christian allegory. This interpretation has another aspect to it. A fish is another symbol of Christ, and so in the novel it can be seen that the Christian symbolism shifts from man to fish and then from fish to man. Santiago, an artist, the title of its symbolism, struggle against the Marlin. Monolino, the minor character, is a symbolic character. The DiMaggio and Lions and winner take nothing. Protagonist Santino is a poor old man who lives alone in a simple but without children. He has gone the 84 days without catching a fish and he has become the joke of his small village. He then the endurance a long and hard struggle with the man. Marlin only see his catch and destroyed by the shark. Yet he does not consider this a great loss and defect. He believes then a man can be destroyed but not be defected. He is not a defected and spiritually he is never lose in his self-confidence of his faith. And then another character is very important, the Monolin is a relationship with the old man, helps, sets tight on the Santiago character. His devotion to his highlights and Santiago values as a person and he's a fisherman. Monolin expresses his love and admirations of his master openly and repeatedly. He takes care of his affairs even when his parents commands his not ego for fishing with them. All sick, unlucky another boats. Monolin Cats sees a disciple of the old man as a sea will be like a continuous after his dies rise his zeal learn from his aunt the benefit from the experience ensure that Santiago will be live on. A Old Man and the Sea is a story of Santiago, an old fisherman who is unlucky, Fishing but without hopes goes on the fishing hooks and hung Marley battles against him and later against the shark, but unfortunately lost of the Marley to the sharks and returns home. His the skeleton whether to the counter in the novel is a tragedy or not is a matter of debates. Different critics have expressed in different opinions on the question in order to establish the statement it is necessary to examine the definition of the tragedy. According to established the ancient rules, a tragedy is defined a tale of serious important action, turns and destroyed for the chief characters. According to the Aristotle, who have based in the theory on the play, the Euripides tragedy is the representation of the action that is serious in the action with the magnitude and complete itself which is represented is a dramatic manner in a language. A incident which across pity, fear, affect and catharsis of the same. The tragic hero is a man who is knowing the pity and fear, man who either good not, but is a combination and higher and moral than the ordinary man, falls from the height and result, mistaking act with the in the order C, the old man the sea falls under above the clarification. Let's examine that text in the detail and is very important to the conclusion in the points in the introduction. The conclusion, thus, the novel is very various different aspect and contributing to its success. One cannot be really describe which aspect is the most significant. The narrative style and techniques involve the various meaning due to the complexity. Simple surface are all equally important, though it is a complexity. Meaning has been one the most debated aspect as a different critics have the interpreted the meanings in the text, but one has to admit that the rather the fact of text is not limited to the meaning is the greatest features and would say that is respect to different allegorical meanings score over the narrative is important degree contribution into the novel is a success. Thank you.